We live in a world obsessed with results, numbers, recognition, flashy wins. People talk about success as if it's a game of luck, as if those who reach the top had something magical handed to them. But let's clear the noise right now. The grind never lies. What you put in, you get out. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually, the truth shows up in the form of your results. The grind is the one thing you can't fake. You can fake your smile. You can fake your lifestyle. You can fake your status on social media. But you can't fake the grind. You can't lie to the mirror. You can't lie to the process. And the process always tells the truth. Why? Because effort doesn't have shortcuts. The moment you choose shortcuts, you're lying to yourself. You're trying to trick the process. And the process knows. The work remembers. The reps you skipped, the corners you cut, the moments you didn't show up, all of it gets recorded. And when it's time to cash in, the grind gives you exactly what you deserve. That's why the grind is the most honest relationship you'll ever have. The illusion of overnight success, people love to admire the end result. They see the mansion, the car, the followers, the fame. But what they don't see is the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the pressure, the fear, the sweat, the failures behind the scenes. That's the grind. The real grind isn't glamorous. It's not Instagram worthy. It's not what people want to hear, because it's lonely, hard, and unappreciated until it isn't. Everyone wants the success story. Few want the sacrifice. You hear people say, he got lucky. No, he got consistent. She made it overnight. No, she prepared for years. The world just noticed them late. That's how it always works. The grind is silent in the beginning. It doesn't get applause. But if you stay loyal to it, if you trust it, one day it makes noise loud enough for the world to stop and listen. So don't fall for the illusion. Behind every overnight success is a decade of grind that the world refused to see. Discipline over motivation. People chase motivation. They wait for the perfect moment. They think success comes when the stars align and they feel ready. But motivation is a liar. It's unreliable. It comes and goes. One day it's with you, the next day it's gone. You can't build a legacy on feelings. Discipline, on the other hand, is real. It's a habit, a decision, a muscle you train daily. Motivation might get you started, but only discipline will keep you going. When you're tired, discipline keeps you moving. When you're frustrated, discipline keeps you focused. When no one is watching, discipline shows up. Motivation is loud, but discipline is loyal. The grind doesn't care about how you feel. It only respects how you act. Wake up tired, work anyway. Feel uninspired, show up anyway. Got no recognition, grind anyway. Because you know the truth. The grind never lies. And it doesn't forget. Every rep counts. Every page read. Every small step forward. The compound effect is real, and it rewards those who stay committed through silence. The mirror test at the end of each day, there's one question that matters. Can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I gave it everything I had? Not 80%, not 90%, everything. The grind is personal. It's not about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. The mirror doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't care about circumstances. It reflects one thing, truth. And if you know you could have done more, the mirror will tell you. If you slacked, it'll show. If you gave it your all, even without results, it'll reward you with peace. You don't owe the world an explanation, but you owe yourself the truth. And that truth is found in the mirror every day after the grind. Respect the process. The process is not sexy. It's not fun. It's not viral. It's slow, boring, repetitive. But that's what separates the good from the great. Those who endure the monotony. Those who find joy in the discipline. Those who choose consistency over comfort. Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. The grind is showing up when it's not convenient. Waking up when no one's forcing you. Working when the crowd is resting. Improving when no one's watching. These are the moments that build champions. Not the stage, not the spotlight, the quiet work, the invisible hours, the delayed gratification. The grind never lies because it demands integrity. It asks you to be real when no one's watching. It tests who you are when there's no reward in sight. And if you pass that test, success is inevitable. The price of greatness. Everyone wants to be great until they see the price tag. Greatness demands sacrifice, time, sleep, comfort, distractions, friendships. It costs you more than most are willing to pay. And that's why so few people make it. They're not willing to give up what's comfortable to chase what's possible. You can't become legendary by being ordinary. You can't rise while staying lazy. You can't win big if you think small. The grind requires you to let go of average, to embrace the uncomfortable, to bleed for your dream, because nothing you truly want comes cheap. And here's the brutal truth. If you don't pay the price for discipline, you'll eventually pay the price for regret. That's the trade-off. You either suffer now for a few years, or suffer forever with what ifs. The grind is hard, but regret is harder. Keep showing up. If you've started, don't stop. If you're tired, rest, but don't quit. If you've fallen, get back up. Because the secret is not in being perfect, it's in being consistent. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be relentless. You just need to outlast the doubt, the distractions, the pain. Stay in the game. Keep showing up. The world rewards the ones who refuse to go away. The ones who keep swinging, day after day, even when they miss. The ones who keep moving forward, inch by inch, no matter how slow it feels. Success doesn't belong to the talented. It belongs to the committed. The grind is the guarantee in a world where people lie, numbers can be manipulated, images can be filtered, and stories can be faked. There's still one thing that can't be forged, the grind. It's honest, it's raw, it's pure, and it will never let you down. You don't need validation from anyone when you know you're putting in the work. You don't need to prove yourself to the doubters when you're proving it to yourself every day through action. Let others talk. Let others judge. Let them sleep while you rise. Because one day, the truth will show, and when it does, your results will speak for themselves. That's the promise of the grind. It never lies. Greatness is never built under bright lights. It is born in silence, molded in discomfort, and tested in solitude. The champions you admire today, every single one of them, were shaped in the shadows long before anyone knew their name. And that's the part no one wants to talk about. We live in a generation that craves recognition, but avoids preparation. Everyone wants the crown. No one wants the weight. But understand this. The grind is not public. It is private. It happens when the cameras are off, the crowds are gone, and no one is clapping. The gym at 5 a.m., the desk when everyone else is out partying. The late nights, the early mornings, the skip vacations, the lonely decisions. That's where greatness is forged. And guess what? It doesn't feel good. It's not glamorous. It's uncomfortable, repetitive, and often boring. But it's real. And that's why it works. The grind doesn't ask for applause. It only asks for consistency. The work is the reward. Most people work only when there's a promise of reward, a paycheck, applause, approval. But that's not how the grind works. The real ones. They work because the work itself is the reward. They show up not for the outcome, but for the process. You become unstoppable the moment you fall in love with doing the thing no one else wants to do. When you stop chasing dopamine and start chasing discipline, you unlock a different level of strength. You stop asking, what do I get? And start asking, what do I become? And that's where the shift happens. Because while everyone else is chasing results, you're building character. While they want applause, you want growth. While they want attention, you want mastery. That's how legends are made. Not through hype, but through habit. No one cares. Work harder. This might sound harsh, but it's the truth. No one cares about your excuses, your pain, your distractions, or your history. The world doesn't owe you a thing. It only pays those who earn it. The grind doesn't care where you started. It doesn't care who doubted you. It doesn't care about your bad day, your background, or your reasons. All it wants to know is, did you show up? While others are waiting for ideal conditions, the grinders are creating them. While the world complains, they build. While others wish they work. And when the dust settles, they're the ones left standing, not because life was easy, but because they were consistent. So stop expecting sympathy. Start showing strength. No one's coming to save you. But if you grind, you won't need saving. Confidence comes from repetition. People think confidence is a mindset, but it's not. Confidence is repetition. You earn it through practice, through the countless hours no one sees. You don't get confident by talking. You get confident by training. You get confident by putting in the reps until what once scared you becomes second nature. Confidence isn't built in front of the crowd. It's built alone. Every workout, every page you read, every time you push when you could have quit, every time you show up tired and still give it your all. That's a brick in the wall of your confidence. And when the moment finally comes and the spotlight hits, you don't flinch. Not because you're lucky, but because you've already done it 1,000 times in silence. The gap between dreams and reality. Everyone has a dream. Very few are willing to do what it takes to make it real. The dream is free, but the grind is sold separately. There's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. That gap is not crossed by wishing. It's crossed by working. Every early morning you wake up to train. Every hour you spend reading, studying, practicing. Every sacrifice you make to grow instead of settle. That's how the gap closes. People say, one day. But the grinders say, day one. That's the difference. The world is full of dreamers. But the world belongs to the doers. Because only action moves you forward. Only sweat writes the story. Only persistence builds the bridge. So if you want it, start. And then don't stop. Character over comfort. Most people choose comfort. They sleep in, they relax, they take shortcuts. And you know what comfort gives you? Nothing. Nothing lasting. Nothing legendary. Nothing worth remembering. Comfort kills more dreams than failure ever will. But the grind, it builds character. It sharpens you. It reveals who you are. It humbles you when you get too confident. It strengthens you when you're weak. It teaches you patience when you're rushing. It turns boys into men, girls into women, average into elite. You don't grow through ease. You grow through effort. You grow when it's hard, when you're tired, when it doesn't seem fair, but you show up anyway. That's where character is born. Not when it's easy, but when it's hard, and you choose the grind anyway. You Vez. You, the real battle isn't between you and the competition. It's between you and the older version of you. That lazy, doubtful, excuse-making version of yourself that wants to stay the same. The grind is about beating that person every day. It's about saying, yesterday's effort wasn't enough. Let's go again. It's about pushing when your mind says stop. It's about ignoring the voice that tells you to settle and listening to the one that says, let's build something greater. You don't need to be better than others, just better than who you were yesterday. And if you do that every day, day after day, the world won't be able to ignore you. Pressure builds diamonds. The grind will pressure you. It will break you down. It will test every part of you, physically, mentally, emotionally. But that's not punishment. That's preparation. Pressure isn't the enemy. It's the evidence that something great is being shaped inside you. You'll want to quit. That's normal. But quitting only delays what's already yours. The pressure is temporary. The payoff is permanent. The greater the goal, the heavier the burden. But the burden is how you grow the muscle. It's how you learn discipline. It's how you gain respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Diamonds aren't made in comfort. They're made under pressure. The world only sees the result. People will only see your success, not your sacrifice. They'll see the trophy, not the training. The victory, not the battle. The car, not the credit score. The win, not the wounds. And that's okay, because you don't grind for applause. You grind for legacy, for self-respect, for your future family, for your vision, for the man or woman you're becoming. You don't need them to understand. You need you to believe and keep showing up when they don't. That's how the story is written. Let them sleep. Let them scroll. Let them judge. You grind. You rise. You lead. Because you already know the grind never lies. What separates the driven from the drifting? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's not even intelligence. It's resistance. And what you do when you face it. Because every time life pushes back, you get two choices: fold or fight. Sit down or stand up. Break down or break through. Resistance is the gatekeeper of greatness. It's not there to block you. It's there to build you. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Let's be clear. Comfort doesn't build anything worth keeping. Comfort gives you a warm bed and soft dreams. But it never gives you legacy. Never gives you discipline. Never gives you a name that echoes after you're gone. The grind never offers comfort. It offers resistance. And that's the point. Because only through resistance do you get stronger. The body grows through tension. The mind grows through challenge. The soul grows through sacrifice. No one becomes something great by cruising. You grow when it's hard. You transform when it's painful. You evolve when you push beyond where you've been. So if it's tough right now, good. That means you're on the path. Stop waiting for it to get easier. Everyone wants things to get easier. But here's the secret: it doesn't. You just get better. Life doesn't become lighter. You become stronger. The weights don't reduce. Your capacity increases. The grind doesn't shrink. Your character expands. Stop praying for lighter loads. Start training for a stronger back. The more you take on, the more you're trusted with. The stronger you get, the more responsibility life will throw at you. That's a good thing. Ease is overrated. Growth is earned. You weren't built for ease. You were built for effort. Winners train through pain. Pain is a teacher. A cruel one, yes, but a loyal one. Pain doesn't lie. Pain reveals. It shows you where you're weak, where you're undisciplined, where you've been pretending. And that's why the grind loves pain. Because once it hits, your mask falls off. And now it's just you, raw, real, tested. Most people tap out when it hurts. But grinders, they lean in. They know pain is the price of progress. They feel it, respect it, but they don't run from it. They train through it. Because at the end of that pain is pride, confidence, mastery, and self-respect. Not the kind someone gives you, the kind you earn. You don't need motivation. You need discipline. Motivation is a spark. It fades. Discipline is a system. It sustains. If you rely on motivation, you'll only grind when you feel good. And that's not enough. Because feelings are inconsistent. But discipline, that's commitment in action. Discipline shows up on bad days. It doesn't ask how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't flinch when you're discouraged. Discipline says, we don't quit. We don't skip. We keep going. Because this is who we are. And eventually, if you stay disciplined long enough, you don't need motivation anymore. You've become the machine. Everyone wants to shine. No one wants to sweat. We live in a world of shortcuts. People want six-pack abs without doing sit-ups. They want millions without serving millions. They want status without sacrifice. But the grind, it doesn't operate in shortcuts. It runs on sweat. You can't cheat it. You can't fake it. You can't skip steps. And if you try, the grind exposes you. Because while you were busy looking for easy, someone else was putting in reps. Someone was staying late. Someone was eating clean. Someone was mastering their craft while you scrolled. And when the lights turn on, they're ready. And you're not. Because the grind doesn't lie. Your future is hiding in your daily routine. You don't rise to the level of your vision. You fall to the level of your habits. Dreaming is easy. Everyone dreams. But the life you want, the results you crave, they're not buried in fantasy. They're hidden in what you do daily. How you start your morning. How you spend your free time. How you talk to yourself when no one's watching. Your daily routine is your destiny in disguise. You either master your days, or your days master you. So ask yourself, do your habits reflect your hunger? Does your schedule reflect your standards? Is your grind matching your goals? If not, change. Don't negotiate. Don't delay. Don't explain. Change. Sacrifice separates the serious from the curious. Everyone's interested in success. Few are committed to it. You know what separates them? Sacrifice. If you're not giving anything up, you're not serious. That extra hour of sleep, that's a cost. That junk food, the cost. Those toxic friends, the cost. The party every weekend, the cost. You don't get to keep your old life and expect a new one. You want more. Sacrifice more. And guess what? You won't always get applause for it. Some people will laugh. Others will doubt you. Some will leave. Let them. The grind doesn't ask for permission. It just executes. Consistency is the ultimate power. You want to know what really changes your life. Consistency. Not a perfect week. Not one viral moment. Not one big event. It's the daily, unsexy, repetitive, disciplined grind. Waking up early when no one's watching. Practicing the same move 1,000 times. Saying no to distractions over and over again. It's boring, but it's powerful. Because the person who trains daily grows. Slowly at first. But inevitably, you don't need to be the best. Just be the most consistent. The grind rewards the consistent. Not the talented. Not the lucky. The consistent. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Doubt is the silent killer. It whispers lies. You're not ready. You're not good enough. Who are you to try this? Ignore it. Because doubt isn't based on facts, it's based on fear. And fear is a liar. The grind doesn't care about your fears. It respects only one thing, your actions. You may not believe in yourself at first. That's okay. Show up anyway. Because every time you show up, doubt gets weaker. Every rep you take, every mile you run, every page you write, your faith grows. And one day, you'll look back and realize, you didn't defeat doubt by arguing with it. You defeated it by doing the work. Protect your environment. Your grind is sacred. And that means your environment matters. You can't hang around lazy people and expect to stay driven. You can't share your dreams with people who laugh at discipline. You can't plant seeds of greatness in soil filled with negativity. Audit your circle. Protect your focus. Surround yourself with grinders, with builders, with doers. People who push you. People who challenge you. People who refuse to let you settle. Because in the grind, energy is everything. And if you're around the wrong energy, it'll drain your drive. You're not better than anyone. But you're different. Respect that. You become what you fight for at the end of the day. Life gives you two options. Make excuses or make progress. The choice is always yours. No one's going to hand it to you. No one's going to feel sorry for you. And no one's going to grind for you. But if you fight daily, relentlessly, obsessively, then eventually what you're fighting for becomes who you are. You don't just want it. You embody it. You become the standard, the example, the leader. You become the person they said couldn't exist. And it's not because you were special. It's because you chose the grind. The finish line isn't where greatness begins. It's where it's revealed. All the late nights, the missed parties, the early mornings, the quiet frustrations, the invisible sacrifices, they don't show up in the headlines. They're not posted on social media. They don't trend. But they count. They always count. The world might not see the process, but the process always shows in the results. And that's why the grind never lies. You can't fake discipline. You can't shortcut resilience. You can't cheat effort. Because when it's time to perform, when it's time to deliver, when the pressure is on and there's no one left to blame, that's when truth shows up. And it always exposes who's real. The grind strips away excuses. It ignores explanations. It only cares about one thing. Did you show up and do the work? That's what separates the amateur from the professional. The talker from the doer. The dreamer from the achiever. You don't earn trust through speeches. You earn it through sweat. So while the world looks for hacks, you build habits. While others post quotes, you build character. While they chase applause, you chase progress. Because you understand, every inch forward is paid for in full. Nobody owes you success. Not your family. Not your past. Not the world. You owe yourself the discipline to go get it. And here's the hard truth. Most people will never reach their potential. Not because they aren't capable, but because they're not willing to pay the price. They want comfort more than change. Ease more than evolution. Safety more than sacrifice. But not you. You're not wired for average. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand up. To stand for something. To push past limits. To set a standard so high that others are inspired just by watching you move. Your journey isn't meant to be understood by everyone. It's not meant to be easy. That's what makes it powerful. Because when you go where few are willing to go, you'll do what few are willing to do. And you'll become who few are willing to become. There are no guarantees in this world, but there are consequences. You either pay the price for discipline today, or pay the price for regret tomorrow. The grind demands that choice. Every single day. Nobody is going to remind you to stay focused. Nobody is going to force you to show up. It's on you. And that's where power lies. In responsibility. In ownership. In choosing to hold the line even when no one's watching. The ones who rise are the ones who do it scared, tired, doubtful, but still do it. They don't need validation. They don't need applause. They don't need the crowd. They've got something stronger: purpose. Purpose is what wakes you up when the alarm goes off and your body says no. Purpose is what pulls you through the days where nothing seems to click. Purpose is what whispers, keep going, when everyone else says, give up. And purpose is fed by pain. Fueled by pressure, forged in fire. You'll be underestimated, ignored, mocked, doubted. That's fine. Let them. Every great story needs a moment where no one believes. That moment is your chance to double down, to bet on yourself harder, to show up sharper, to grind quieter. Because success isn't always about being seen. It's about being undeniable. And you become undeniable by doing the things most won't, long after the mood has passed, long after the motivation fades. Your greatest advantage: you don't stop, you don't complain, you don't flinch, you rise. And with every setback, you come back stronger. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every failure becomes feedback. Every loss becomes a lesson. That's how champions are built. They don't just survive the storm, they become it. You can feel the weight, the pressure, the fatigue, and you keep going anyway. That's where greatness starts. Because if you can work when you're tired, if you can train when it's thankless, if you can focus when it's quiet, if you can believe when it's bleak, you become the kind of force the world can't ignore. And it's not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Right about your vision. Right about your work ethic. Right about your discipline. The grind never lies because it records everything. It remembers the missed nights out, the ignored temptations, the reps in the dark, the sprints when it rained, the books you read instead of parties you attended. And one day, when the world finally notices, it'll look like success happened overnight. But you'll know. You'll remember the days it hurt to believe, the nights you wanted to quit, the moments you doubted everything. And you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because you endured. And that endurance changed you. It made you real. It made you disciplined. It made you dangerous. Because now, nothing can be taken from you that you didn't earn. No title makes you. No praise defines you. No critic breaks you. Because you know who you are. You know what it took. You know what you sacrificed. And you know, you didn't get here by chance. You got here because you refused to quit. Because when it got hard, you went harder. When it got dark, you lit your own fire. When the crowd left, you kept climbing. You didn't need hype. You had habits. You didn't need applause. You had action. You didn't need attention. You had accountability. And now, they'll ask how you did it. But the answer is simple. You showed up when it was hard. You worked when it was quiet. You believed when it didn't make sense. You didn't get lucky. You got consistent. You didn't stumble into greatness. You built it. One decision at a time. One rep at a time. One day at a time. And now you walk different. You think different. You breathe different. Because once you've faced yourself in the mirror every day and chosen discipline over comfort, truth over excuse, growth over stagnation, you're no longer just grinding. You are the grind. And the grind never lies.